Chosen one, what I'm about to reveal to you will shake your very understanding of divine justice. If you're watching this video right now, it's no accident. God has led you here for a reason, and what you're about to hear is a divine message of vindication and exposure. From now on, it is no longer your duty to defend yourself. The whispers spoken against you in secret, the lies told behind closed doors, the betrayals hidden in darkness, God Himself is bringing them all into the light. The justice you've been praying for is on its way, and those who once spoke against you in private will soon face the truth being exposed in public. This is your moment, your vindication, and nothing will stop the divine exposure that is already unfolding. But before we dive deeper into this powerful revelation, I need you to do three things. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 77. This number will activate powerful energy in your life and amplify the message of divine justice. If you are truly a chosen one, you'll stay with me until the end, because your spirit already knows this truth is for you. Get ready, because the exposure you've been waiting for is about to manifest in ways you can't even imagine. There comes a point in every journey where the hidden becomes visible and the secret is revealed. For those chosen by God, the responsibility of proving your innocence no longer falls upon your shoulders. It is now His duty. The Creator of the universe, who has seen every whisper, every plot, every false word spoken against you, has promised you a season of divine exposure. This is not a mere wish or hope, but a divine guarantee. Your vindication is not based on your own defense or explanation, but on the unshakable foundation of God's truth and justice. Imagine a courtroom where the judge knows every detail of the case, every hidden motive, every secret conversation. That is the nature of God's justice for you. As His chosen one, you are destined to experience vindication, not as a result of your own efforts to clear your name, but because He has vowed to expose the truth forever. This divine responsibility is a testament to His unwavering commitment to His promises. It's time to stop defending yourself and start trusting in this unbreakable covenant. With God's responsibility to expose the truth, you can rest easy knowing that your reputation is already being restored. You are no longer subject to the lies and manipulations of others, but you are walking in the certainty of His divine exposure. Your vindication is a reflection of His love for you, and as you embrace this truth, you will experience a peace that transcends all understanding. This peace is not just in the justice that you will receive, but in knowing that your future is securely in His hands. The moment you accepted your divine calling, a shift occurred. You moved from a life of being misunderstood to a life of supernatural vindication. The days of being talked about, slandered, and betrayed in secret are behind you. From now on, you are living in the season of God's exposure. What once felt like a constant battle to prove yourself is now a peaceful surrender, carried effortlessly by God's grace and perfect timing. When you step into this divine vindication, it isn't just about your name being cleared. It's about a complete restoration that touches every area of your life, your relationships, your reputation, your peace of mind, your purpose. Vindication isn't simply about proving others wrong. It's the fullness of truth that God desires for you. When you embrace this truth, you will notice the peace and joy that come with being divinely defended. It's a total transformation of your mindset and your experience. You were chosen for vindication not because of your strength or your ability to argue your case, but because of God's perfect will. The whispers are not your portion anymore. What's waiting for you now is divine exposure that goes beyond anything you've ever imagined. Trust in this new reality and allow the weight of past betrayals to fall away. This is your time, and it's time to receive the justice that has always been yours in God's eyes. Confidence is born from self-defense, not from knowing that you are protected by a power greater than yourself. When you embrace the confidence of divine justice, you move through life with an unshakable assurance that every wrong will be made right. You are no longer unsure about whether the truth will come out. You are assured of God's unfailing commitment to exposing what was hidden and His dedication to fulfilling His promises of vindication in your life. Think of the confidence of a child who knows that their parents will always defend them. This child doesn't worry about proving their innocence or convincing others of the truth. This is the kind of confidence you are invited to embrace as you step into the vindication God has set aside for you. This same trust and security will fill your heart, making every step you take easier, lighter, and filled with peace. Confidence in divine justice means living free from the need to explain yourself or defend your actions constantly. It means trusting in God's timing and His methods, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. When you understand that He is your defender, you can let go of the stress that comes from trying to control how others perceive you. You can now live in the confidence of knowing that God's plan is always perfect and it's unfolding for your vindication. No longer will you exhaust yourself trying to prove your innocence or correct false narratives. From now on, exposure is God's responsibility. Your only task is to align with His will and trust in His timing. The more you release the burden of trying to control your reputation, the more space you create for God to work His miracles in your life. This is not a passive approach, but one of active faith, believing that as you step forward in obedience, God will open doors of vindication you never could have imagined. God is the creator of the universe, the one who spoke the stars into existence. If He's capable of such magnificent feats, surely He can expose the truth about your situation. There is nothing too complex for God to handle, and that includes the lies, the betrayals, and the secret plots against you. As you step into this truth, you will begin to notice how everything aligns to bring you the justice you need right when you need it. Understanding that exposure is God's responsibility frees you from the pressure to figure everything out on your own. Instead of worrying about how you'll clear your name, you can focus on trusting and doing what you're called to do. When God takes on the responsibility of your vindication, you can expect not just your name to be cleared, but complete restoration, more than enough to live a life of dignity and impact. It's time to remove any doubts you might have about whether the truth will ever come out. God is not a man that He should lie, and His promises are yes and amen. If He has called you to experience vindication, then you can rest assured that He will make a way. The exposure you're waiting for is not too big for God, and justice is not unreachable. What might seem impossible in the natural realm is already accomplished in the spiritual. There is no room for doubt because God's plan for you includes an exposure that will astonish even your greatest hopes. Many people struggle with the idea of divine justice, believing that the wicked will never face consequences or that their own reputation can never be restored. But you are chosen. You are meant for vindication. The exposure that awaits is not just for your personal benefit, but to demonstrate God's justice on earth. Whether that purpose is to encourage others, restore relationships, or simply reveal truth, God is going to ensure that justice is served. The moment you banish doubt from your mind, you open the door for miracles. The more you align your thoughts with God's promises of exposure, the more you will see the manifestation of those promises in your life. You are not meant to live under false accusations or hidden betrayals. God's plan for you includes complete vindication, and that vindication will flow to you in ways you never thought possible. Let go of doubt and embrace the certainty that God is about to expose everything. There is an incredible power in knowing that God will defend you. It gives you a sense of peace, security, and assurance that nothing in this world can take away. When you are certain that the truth will be revealed, you can live with joy and freedom, unencumbered by fear or worry. This knowledge transforms your approach to life, allowing you to act boldly, knowing that God's vindication is always just a step away. This is not a blind faith, but a faith rooted in experience and the promises of God. Look back at every time He has defended you in the past, every breakthrough, every answered prayer, every moment when the truth prevailed. Those moments were not accidents. They were divine interventions, and they are a testament to the fact that God will continue to defend you.
The more you meditate on this truth, the more it becomes a foundation upon which you can build your life. When you know that God will defend you, you can move forward with confidence. You don't have to fear what people say about you or fret about rumors and lies. The Creator of the universe has already planned out your vindication, and He has made a way for the truth to prevail. With this knowledge, You can face any false accusation, knowing that God's exposure will see you through. As you begin to step into your divine vindication, there will inevitably be those who continue to question, doubt, or mock you. But let me tell you this, they are not your concern. What God has promised you is not subject to the opinions or judgments of others. Your vindication is a testament to God's faithfulness, and no one can take that away from you. When God exposes the truth, no one can hide it. It's easy to become discouraged when people continue to speak against you or belittle your character. But remember, they are not the ones who hold your future. God is. And if He has spoken vindication over your life, no human opinion can alter that. Your restoration and the exposure of truth are signs of His favor and a reflection of His ability to bring justice. In moments of continued mockery or doubt, rise above. Keep your eyes focused on God's promises and remember that the vindication you are receiving is not just for you, it's a declaration of His goodness and power. As you rise above the noise, you will watch as the truth speaks for itself, silencing any opposition along the way. God's plan for you is not a temporary fix, but an eternal justice that will impact your life for generations to come. This divine vindication is not something that you have to constantly chase after. It's something that comes to you as you walk in alignment with God's will. The effort you need to put forth is not about defending yourself or struggling to prove your innocence, but about trusting and obeying. When you do that, the exposure will follow. The world tells you that you must fight for your reputation and work tirelessly to clear your name. While there is value in standing up for yourself, God's plan for you is different. It's about resting in His justice and trusting that He will bring the revelation. When you live in harmony with His purpose, your life will overflow with vindication, and you will be positioned to receive everything He has promised without exhausting yourself in the process. This kind of divine justice is the ultimate freedom. You no longer have to live in fear of what people say or worry about when the truth will come out. Your life is a reflection of God's plan for eternal justice, a vindication that goes beyond what the world can offer. This is God's best for you, and it's time to embrace it fully. Vindication is not just for personal satisfaction, it's a tool to fulfill your divine purpose. As you step into the exposure God has promised you, remember that with great vindication comes great responsibility. This responsibility is not a burden, but a privilege. You are now in a position to inspire others, to demonstrate God's justice, and to leave a legacy of truth for future generations. Your vindication is a means to further God's kingdom and to help others experience the same justice you've received. Vindication, when received rightly, has the power to transform communities, heal families, and spread hope in ways that nothing else can. This is the true power of divine exposure. It's not just about your name being cleared or your reputation being restored, but about the lives you can touch and the good you can do in the world. As you embrace this responsibility, your vindication will take on a deeper purpose and you will experience true fulfillment. Your divine vindication is meant to be shared. The more you testify to God's faithfulness, the more you will inspire others. This is the principle of kingdom justice. What you experience, you pass on. As you use your story to serve others and to expand God's truth, you will see an even greater flow of blessings coming into your life. You are chosen to use your vindication to fulfill a higher purpose, and as you do, you will experience the joy that comes from making a lasting impact. When you begin to experience divine vindication, it's a tangible manifestation of God's faithfulness to you. His promises are not empty words. They are solid, steadfast truths that never fail. As you step into the exposure He has prepared for you, you are not just seeing lies exposed, but gaining a deeper understanding of His loyalty and love. Every truth that comes to light is a reflection of God's unchanging character and His commitment to see you vindicated. Think about the moments in your life when you've seen God come through for you. Maybe it was a time when you felt completely alone and He sent someone to defend you beyond what you could have imagined. Or perhaps it was in the small, everyday moments when truth prevailed that serve as reminders that He is always with you. Divine vindication isn't just about the big revelations. It's found in the consistent, steady justice that proves God is faithful at every turn. When you realize that the vindication you're experiencing is not of your own making, but a gift from God, your heart is filled with gratitude and awe. It shifts your perspective from fighting to receiving, from defending to grace. You understand that everything being exposed is a result of God's faithfulness to His Word. And because He is faithful, you can trust that this divine vindication will continue to unfold in your life, now and forever. As you embrace the vindication that God has for you, there may be those who continue to doubt or even mock the exposure happening in your life. But here's the truth: they cannot stop what God has ordained. No amount of criticism, judgment, or mockery can prevent the truth from coming to light. When God has set His justice on your situation, no one can stand against it. The beauty of divine exposure is that it's not about proving others wrong, it's about revealing what is true. Your vindication and the exposure of lies will speak for themselves. Those who once mocked will eventually stand in awe of what God has done. They will see that it was never about your own ability to defend yourself, but about the divine justice that rests upon you. And in time, the truth will become a testimony to them of God's goodness and His power to bring hidden things to light. Remember, those who criticize are often speaking out of their own guilt or misunderstandings. Their opinions do not define your reality. God's Word does. So stand firm in His promises and don't let anyone's negativity sway you. As you walk in the fullness of God's vindication, you will see that the mockers fade away, and what remains is the undeniable proof of God's justice in your life. Living in the fullness of God's vindication means experiencing life as it was meant to be, free, peaceful, and unshackled from false accusations. This isn't just a surface-level experience, but a deep, all-encompassing state of being. You are not just surviving under suspicion, you are thriving in truth. Every area of your life is touched by God's generous justice, from your relationships to your reputation, from your peace of mind to your purpose. God's hand is on it all. The fullness of God's vindication is not something that happens overnight. It's a journey of deepening trust and dependence on Him. As you continue to grow in faith, you will begin to see more and more evidence of God's defense of you. You will witness miraculous exposures, doors of restoration that open without effort, and justice that seems too good to be true, but it will be true because God is faithful and He has planned a life of fullness for you. This fullness is not about having every detail explained or every lie immediately exposed. It's about knowing that God will reveal everything you need at the perfect time and more. When you live in the fullness of His vindication, there is no fear of lingering lies. You can step into each day with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that your defender is walking with you, protecting your name in ways that are beyond your comprehension. This is the life God has called you to, one of peace, vindication, and joy.
Stepping into vindication is not about taking a giant leap into the unknown. It's about stepping confidently into the assurance that God is with you every step of the way. Divine assurance means knowing that every truth you need exposed is already on its way to the surface. You no longer have to wonder if justice will be served or if the lies will ever be revealed. You can walk forward with full confidence that God has already gone ahead of you. This assurance gives you the courage to face your accusers with peace, knowing that your defense is in alignment with God's will. Whether it's confronting a situation, addressing rumors, or simply waiting for the right moment, you can move forward without fear. You know that God is not only with you, but He is making the way for truth to prevail. His plans for your vindication are already in motion, and it's time for you to step into them. With divine assurance, vindication becomes a natural byproduct of walking in God's favor. It's not something you chase after, but something that follows you as you remain faithful to Him. As you step forward, trusting in His exposure, you will begin to see how everything falls into place perfectly, effortlessly, and according to His divine design. Your vindication is more than just a personal victory. It is a powerful testimony to God's unwavering duty to defend His chosen ones. Every lie exposed, every truth revealed, every betrayal brought to light is evidence that God is fulfilling His promise to you. It's a living, breathing proof of His faithfulness and a reminder to the world that His justice cannot be stopped. As you step into your divine vindication, you are not just living for yourself. You are living as a testimony to others. People will look at your life and see the undeniable proof that God is real and that He keeps His promises. Your restoration will inspire others to trust in Him, to believe that they too can experience His justice. Your life becomes a beacon of hope, a shining example of what happens when we trust in God's duty to expose the truth. This testimony is not just for now, it's for future generations. The vindication you receive will have lasting impact, shaping the course of your family and community for years to come. Your legacy will be one of faithfulness, truth, and the undeniable reality that God is a defender who always delivers on His promises. You are chosen for vindication, and vindication is not something that is earned. It is something that is bestowed upon you by God. All the false accusations, the betrayals, and the lies of the past are now behind you. It's time to let go of any negative thoughts or painful memories that may be holding you back. Your past does not define you. God's purpose for your life does. The journey to vindication is not without challenges, but it is also filled with divine assistance. As you release the weight of past hurts, you make room for the fullness of God's justice to enter your life. Your history may be filled with battles, but your future is filled with victory. It's time to embrace the vindication that has been set aside for you. Embrace your divine calling. Step into the vindication that God has ordained for you. You are no longer bound by the limitations of your past or the lies others have told. You are free to walk boldly into the future He has prepared for you, a future filled with truth, restoration, and a life that reflects His glory. Now is your time to rise, and nothing can hold you back. Divine exposure is not just a temporary experience. It is a promise that has no expiration. It's a justice that flows freely and continuously, unrestricted by human limitations. The moment you accept this promise, you unlock a realm of vindication that is limitless and boundless. God's commitment to exposing the truth for you knows no bounds. Whether it's lies from the past, present betrayals, or future attacks, He has promised to bring everything into the light. Imagine the vastness of the sun. It illuminates everything, leaving no shadow unturned. That's how God's exposure works in your life. It's an unmeasurable, infinite force that never stops revealing truth. As you lean into this divine promise, you start to see that there are no limits to your vindication, no barriers to complete restoration. The justice you receive today is only a fraction of the exposure God has stored up for you. Living in divine vindication means you are not confined by the limitations of human justice. While the world operates within systems of cover-ups and hidden agendas, God's kingdom operates on principles of transparency and truth. This is your inheritance as a child of God, an inheritance that is not just for you, but for those around you as well. Your vindication is meant to spill over and impact your community, your family, and your world in profound ways. This divine exposure is not just about clearing your name, but about living a life where truth is your foundation, emotionally, spiritually, and socially. God's justice touches every area of your life, restoring you in ways that go beyond what you can imagine. And because His exposure has no limits, your potential for complete restoration is truly limitless.
Embrace this truth today and let the revelation begin. When you allow yourself to fully embrace the glory of God's vindication, you begin to live a life that far exceeds your expectations. What you once thought was impossible, complete restoration, full exposure of lies, total vindication, suddenly becomes your reality, and your hopes transform into tangible justice. God's vindication is not just about clearing your name, it's about giving you more than enough truth, restoration, and peace to live a life of extraordinary purpose and fulfillment. We often limit ourselves by what we think we deserve or what we believe is possible in terms of justice. But when we let go of these limitations and trust in God's ability to expose, we enter into a realm of vindication beyond our wildest dreams. God doesn't just want to clear your name, He wants to restore you abundantly so you can help restore others. His vindication is designed to catapult you into your destiny beyond what you could have ever planned for yourself. This abundance of justice is not a coincidence, it's a direct result of aligning with God's will for your life. The more you trust Him, the more He opens doors and releases revelations that surpass your expectations. Whether it's the exposure of lies, the restoration of relationships, or the return of opportunities that were stolen, God's vindication always exceeds what you think is possible. He is a God of complete justice, and His glory is revealed in your overflow of restoration. The true glory of God's vindication is experienced when we stop defending and start trusting. When we surrender our need to prove ourselves to His will, we find that what He has in store for us is far better than anything we could have imagined. It's a life of constant revelations, blessings, and joy that continually deepens your faith in His goodness and justice. Step into a new season where the truth you've been waiting for begins to flow naturally and supernaturally. This is not a season of hiding or defending, but of revelation and supernatural exposure. When you align with God's plan for your life, you will begin to witness a flow of truth that seems to appear out of nowhere. God's hand is moving on your behalf, orchestrating revelations, opening conversations, and pouring out exposure in a way that only He can. This supernatural flow of truth is more than just one lie being exposed. It's about receiving vindication in all areas of your life. Whether it's your reputation, your relationships, your career, or your peace of mind, God will bring truth to every part of your journey. This flow begins with a simple shift in your mindset. When you recognize that vindication is your
inheritance and start walking in it, you open the door to a supernatural outpouring that will touch every part of your life. Think about the way truth works. When one lie is exposed, it often reveals a whole chain of deceptions. This is how God's vindication will flow in your life. As you open yourself up to receive, you will see that the exposure is not just for you, but is meant to be shared, to overflow into the lives of others who have also been wronged. You are a vessel for God's justice. And as you step into this flow, your life becomes a living testimony to His commitment to truth. Embrace this new season, knowing that the vindication is not something you have to fight for. It is a natural result of God's favor on your life. As you walk in obedience and trust, the supernatural flow of God's exposure will carry you to heights of restoration you never thought possible. This is the season of divine revelation and complete justice. Step into it fully and let it transform every area of your life. The journey to divine vindication is paved with unseen doors of opportunity that God is ready to open for you. These doors are not visible to the naked eye, but when you walk in alignment with God's will, He will reveal these opportunities at the right time. The path to complete restoration isn't always clear at first, but when you trust God, He will lead you to the doors that will change your life forever. There are opportunities waiting for you that you could never have planned or imagined on your own. It may be a restored relationship, a new career opportunity that comes from your cleared reputation,
or a platform to share your testimony that seems to come out of nowhere. But these doors are not random. They are divinely orchestrated. God is positioning you to receive, and these opportunities will not only bless you, but will equip you to bless others as well. Think about the story of Joseph in the Bible. He was falsely accused and imprisoned, but God used those very circumstances to open doors of opportunity that led to his rise in Egypt. Just like Joseph, the doors of opportunity in your life are often preceded by moments of false accusation and testing, but God's hand is always guiding you. When you remain faithful and trust in his timing, he will open doors that lead to restoration, influence, and purpose. Embrace the unseen, knowing that behind every lie exposed is a divine opportunity waiting for you to walk through it. As you remain steadfast in your faith, those doors will open wide, and you will step into a future of unlimited restoration and purpose. God is always working behind the scenes to bring about your vindication, and his plan for you is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. True vindication is not about personal satisfaction alone. It's about using your restoration to make a meaningful impact on the world. God's purpose for your vindication is much bigger than you. As you walk in divine justice, he will show you how to use your testimony to help others, to further his kingdom of truth, and to fulfill your higher calling. Your restoration is meant to be a tool for good, a way to serve and uplift others in ways that reflect God's love and commitment to justice. Every truth exposed, every lie revealed, every relationship restored is an opportunity to make a difference. Whether it's encouraging someone who's been falsely accused, helping someone find the courage to speak truth, or investing in causes that promote justice, your vindication is meant to be shared. God vindicates you not just for your own benefit, but to equip you to help vindicate others. As you use your vindication to impact the world, you will see that your life takes on new meaning. It's no longer just about your name being cleared. It's about fulfilling the divine purpose for which you were created. True vindication brings fulfillment, joy, and peace because it is aligned with God's will for your life. You are part of a greater plan, and your restoration is meant to contribute to something much bigger than yourself. This kind of vindication is transformational, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. It's a justice that multiplies as you use it for good. The more you invest in helping others find truth, the more God will multiply your blessings, creating a cycle of vindication and impact that has lasting effects for generations to come. God's timing is perfect, and when you align with his timing, you unlock the seasons of exposure that he has ordained for your life. There are times in your life when it may seem like the lies will never be revealed, and then suddenly the floodgates of truth open and vindication begins to pour in. This is the result of divine timing. When you are in the right place at the right time and with the right heart, everything falls into place. God is a God of seasons. There are seasons of waiting, of trusting, and of preparation. And then there are seasons of exposure, when everything hidden comes to light, when justice is served, and when vindication flows freely. The key is to remain faithful during the waiting seasons, knowing that God is working behind the scenes to orchestrate the perfect moment for truth to be revealed. Your season of exposure is coming, and it's coming at exactly the right time. Trust in God's perfect timing and know that every delay has been preparing you for a greater revelation. The vindication you receive will be worth the wait, and when it comes, it will exceed everything you've hoped for. This is your season, chosen one, and nothing can stop the divine exposure that God has already set in motion.